Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and today we're going to talk about something very special. Brickstar actually mentioned this a couple hours ago, which inspired this video, but I'm going to be talking about a special blue dolphin, why it's unusually defective and yet never recalled, and we're going to be opening a sealed set that features it. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to need that hat. It's a dolphin hat, of course, although it's not from the Divers theme itself. The Lego set is pretty cool. The one that Brickstar picked up and shared today on YouTube, which you can check out the link in the description below, is really cool in its own way. All kinds of unusual pieces in there for a Scala set. Of course, the Scala Baby is pretty creepy, but that's in a lot of different sets. The Blue Dolphin is pretty unusual from that set because it's only appeared 2 times. One in a Scala set, and one in a Gear Clock set, which I have in my backlog and I will be opening in today's video. There's also a couple other unusual pieces I've always been looking at throughout that set, like the base plate being unusually raised super high, and is the only time it was ever featured and colored. So, let's take a look at our Blue Dolphin in today's video. Item number 6228, perhaps the first LEGO system dolphin that wasn't created for Duplo, is the part we're talking about today. Now, originally this was released in 1995 in only one color, the old light gray. And the way this was done is pretty similar to what we have nowadays, where it has 2 stud attachments on the bottom as an anti-stud, and you have a bar element on the back of the dorsal fin so you could hang a minifigure or a Scala doll onto the back of it like riding it. Now, the way this was done in 1995 is a little different than the one I have here, because this one actually had something added in 1997 when they recreated the mold and had not only light gray, but also in white. I do have a white one, but I think it swam away. The way this was actually updated in this Dolphin from 97 is that it has an axle point in the middle of those 2 studs. So you could actually attach a Technic axle in between there. I don't know if this was ever implemented in any of those sets, because most of them were system-based, didn't really use a lot of Technic at that time, but it was cool nonetheless. It definitely offers more availability for, you know, customizing or whatever you want to use it for. Now, this is different from the Blue Dolphin that was shown in Brickstar's video, which appeared in 1998 only in that one color of trans light blue. This one was different because it had a defect to it, and I'll explain why when we get the set. In 1998, set number 3117 Flashy Pool was released with the LEGO Scala line. So, this is the one you saw in Brickstar's video that had an unusually blue dolphin. But here's the weird thing. This particular color also came out in only one other set from the year 2000, really a gear item, a clock set, which I've had in my backlog for actually a few years now. I picked up from Bricklink a while ago. Because of the unique nature of the dolphin, I like the beach aesthetic for the rest of this. This poses a weird inconsistency though. Only with this color of dolphin, it had a defect underneath, where neither the stud nor axle attachments can actually work because of the way it was manufactured. However, according to Bricklink users, it can loosely fit a bar element. I don't know how that happened when they already had it in 1999, the last run of the gray and white dolphins, working just fine. But we're going to test it out today. We're going to unbox this set and see what it's all about. And here we are back in the studio so we can take a look at this in hand. I'm going to be very careful with opening this set up, not because of any particular market value for it, but because it's a really nice set. I just don't want to damage it. Unfortunately, the only way that seems to be to open this is from the front of it. There's no tape ends on the sides of it. It only has the folds on the front, which doesn't make a lot of sense for me, but then again, this may have been in partnership with another company who is already making clock-based items and just translating it to LEGO. So, it might not even be LEGO's packaging necessarily. So, let's see what this is all about. This set does also have a handful of other pieces with it in order to operate the clock itself. And I haven't opened the setup, so I don't know if the clock will work. I don't know if it's going to need batteries or anything. But we are curious about the Dolphin. Ooh, that's a little odd in there. Let's try to brush that out of the way. I don't need that right now. And we got the clock right here. It already has the gears attached into it. Got some more cardboard pieces and other funky stuff in between. Got some other padding to keep it safe. So we're just going to move the box out of the way for right now. This originally was for ages 5 and up. I don't know what the original retail cost of this set was, but I picked it up from Bricklink at the Lego store Guarded Inn, which was very cool for finding a lot of unusual and older items. So I'm just going to move all these pieces off to the side, and we'll take a look at all of our components. This is all that's included with the clock set. I'm just going to zoom in there. You get to see it nice and up close. So the clock works simply by turning each of the gears, so you can monitor where the hour hand and second hands will go, as well as the minute hand with the hour hand. So it's an easy way to set it up. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be moving on its own, so we're going to have to take out these pieces and try to open it up for the batteries. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There are no batteries in here. So this says that it takes 1.5 volts, which I believe is a AA battery. I'll get that real shortly. I'll probably have to do a cut in between here. But let's get to the Dolphin real quick. Oh, yeah, it says it right on the case. AA battery. So let's take a look at the Dolphin real quick. First time holding it in hand, and I'm trying to be very gentle and careful with it. So the listing suggested that there was something wrong with the elements in between here, that it could not attach a stud or an axle into it. And I do really like the marble, not marbled, but the bubbly look in between here, just how the plastic came out, because that looks really sweet. And if you had this in a Lego model, I think it would be like a nice ice sculpture or something. But let's see how it works with regular Lego pieces. I have a stack of 1x2 orange bricks, trying to attach it onto here. And no, it's too narrow. So might try to see that up close, but there's too narrow a space in order to fit them, as you see it compared to a Lego brick here. That's how these line up. So it can't actually fit anything that way. Now let's see if we can take one of the axle pieces from the clock, since this is a half pin, therefore having an axle on it, and seeing if that one can attach in between each of these. And just the same, it is too narrow to fit it in that gap. So basically too much plastic was used and filled in too much of a space, so you can't actually attach this from the bottom. Does the clip still work? Well, luckily I have a whole bunch of minifigures around here, so I can test that out. Got my sig fig, and I'm going to try it on the dorsal fin, as we mentioned before. Yeah, so that part is fine. You can still ride the Dolphin anywhere. Now let's see what they said about the bar element, because that was another thing that was maybe going to work. And right now, the closest thing I have with me is one of the bolts from the spring launching sets. Let's see if this bar element can fit in that middle area. And yeah, we do have a loose connection of it. You can see how I twirl it around, it'll still move on its own after I stop. So, it does work. It's a bit of a loose connection, but a very nice one nonetheless. So, if you give me a moment, I might as well review the rest of this set. I'll get a AA battery. I'll be right back. If you like the video so far, be sure to leave it a like down below. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, if you want to get more Lego trivia and unusual items, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. We've got our AA battery all good and ready to go. And we'll just simply have to attach it in here, and we'll see if the clock will still run. And that looks like a yes. So right away, it's already ticking away. So I'm gonna have to set this thing up with the right time for it, and then I'll be able to use this regularly. It doesn't have an alarm or anything on it that I know of, although it does have a snooze button, so I guess it does. And it's a little hard to see from here right now which button does which. This one seems to be the alarm button, but it doesn't necessarily say when the alarm could be set. So this might take a little bit of work trying to figure it all out. Hello everybody, it's Maniac from the future, and I'm here to say that I actually didn't show on the back of each of these gears. That's how it tells which one's the alarm and which one's for setting the time. This one will set the current time, this one will set the alarm. So when you add those gears back into place, that's how you make it happen. Also, this is an alarm button. This is just to say if the alarm is on or off. And I'm going to turn off the lights real quick so you can get to see what the light is like, even though the time isn't set. So, if I press the light button on here, you get to see a very faint glow on the bottom left corner. Not really the best thing there, unfortunately. Not what I was expecting it to be. I don't think this changes at any point. So, kind of a bummer it didn't go through the entire structure. It doesn't really change by any other buttons that are on here either. Also, I didn't mention before, but this sits on a 4x12 area. So comparing it to an 8x16 base plate, that's what it's like for the studdage on the top and bottom. Alright, let's get the lights back on and resume the video. I do like the structure of this thing. I like the underwater feel and the background of it, and the Dolphin is pretty cool. It is something that I'm going to try to fit back into package just to keep it safe just in case. And it's also nice to get a couple starfish with this so you could decorate along the top of the clock in any arrangement, even though the Dolphin cannot actually attach. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't seen Brixar's video about the other set, 3117 Flashy Pool, be sure to check that out. Link in the description below. If you want to help support me and get to see early access videos and get to vote on the next videos coming out, you can check out my Patreon in the description as well. Look in the card link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.